Hey all, Russ here, RVerTV. Good morning. I'm loading up. We're getting ready to hit the road. We have about 70 miles of a epic, beautiful drive. Look at this day. Starting blue sky, no winds. Not bad, huh? This is Escalante, Utah. Cute little park. I'd stay here again for sure. The lady that runs it is awesome. There's the electric X-Peak bike I carry. And don't look at the mess. Maid's day off. All right, let me finish loading up. We're on the road because the journey starts now. All right, I want to make a stop here. Spotted this on the maps last night when I was scoping out today's travel plans. It's called Escalante Heritage Center. And I believe there's actually a campground here. No hookups. See, a lot of this stuff is just now getting open for the season. There's still no leaves on the trees yet. We're one day away from April. Well, they got some storyboards here. Escalante is kind of down in a valley. The Hole in the Rock expedition, where they brought wagons down an extreme trail through from the mountains. Old-time settler history. The Mormon history here is vast. Utah. See what this one is. Lay of the land. There's the Hole in the Rock. Covered wagons, bringing them down those passes. Yeah, just to drive the van down on a paved road. I mean, and we're going to be going over some mountains here. This Scenic Highway 12. It's one of the most famous byways in the country. When you Google scenic byways, this thing's going to pop, this route. blank spot on the map. More history, Powell expedition. Now he's got a lake named after him, Lake Powell, up in Page, Arizona. Can't even really read most of it. More about the settler history here. Sorry. These storyboards are pretty well cooked. Oh my, look at this mural up here. Huh. They probably got all their town activities out here. It's called Heritage Park. More covered wagon history. But this mural, my goodness. The longest mile. In 1879, they carved a notch, formed a trail, and 6 weeks later, here comes the wagons down that thing. People holding it back with ropes. My goodness, what a ride, huh? If a picture says 1,000 words, that does right there. Look at the little kids watching. That had to have been scary. Story of the last wagon. Well, I highly recommend always in the videos. You can always Google a little bit more on these places. I wasn't expecting all this. Looks like their office is closed. And I believe out here should be the campground. I know when I was looking for RV parks and camping, this popped. But I wasn't sure what it was, so I stuck with that Canyon's RV park. That was nice. And they were very reasonable. The lady was just a world of info. She knows all the side roads, trails. She can really give you some good direction if you stay there. Highly recommend it. Yep, I see sites, campsites. No one's here. What a pretty view to wake up to. So probably it's like self-registration to camp here. That's looking back towards town. Escalante's not that big of a town. Always fill your gas tank. Few and far between gas stations around Utah. Especially you get some of these areas like this. Alright, head back towards the van. Well, nice map of the area. Utah's Bryce Canyon Country. We're right in the middle of it. Heck yeah. Garfield County. Cool. Well, we're heading up towards Torrey. We're going to go way up over the mountains. But first, we're going to cross over the Hogback on the Scenic Highway 12. Hey, we got a little green grass growing here. Alright, here we go. Right there is the entrance of the campground. Nights are cold yet up here. It got pretty chilly last night. Looks like farming and ranching is the big business around here. Huge spreads. Alright, we're gonna head up here. I drove this a long time ago, many years, clear back when I first started making videos. This was one of the routes I took. The Hogback's cool, and just this whole road. You'll see it. Here we go. Red dirt as far as you can see, huh? That is Utah. Very unique state. One of my favorites to explore. Alright, our first pullout should be right up here. Yep, I see it. Here's our turnout. The road winds right down the side of this hill here, cliff. Then once we get on the other side, it opens up and we drive down through a canyon. And then we cross over what they call the Hogback, which the road just falls off on both sides of the road. It's pretty darn cool. Well, let's make a stop. Check the view, huh? Alright, it's called Head of the Rocks Overlook. Big canyon, my goodness. As far as you can see, what a crystal clear day, no pollution. You know, one thing in the summertime, you get forest fires and fire smoke and all that, but not today. There's the road right down there. We'll be on that in just a couple minutes. Not much traffic so far either. Way down there you can see a car going. That gives you a little better idea of the curves we'll go through. Cool. That's still a long ways. That is a lot of miles that we can see from up here. Look at the layers of color in in those rocks. Millions of years. Well, what a pretty place. No matter where I look, we got a view. Look at my shadow. I always like doing that. Alright, let's roll. I came down to this end so I could see the oncoming traffic. Looks clear. Yeah, doesn't that? All the colors. Almost looks like a painting. The way those rocks colored there with that sun hitting it. Perfect. Alright, we're gonna drop down. I'd say I'm guessing a little bit, but for the next 20 miles, it's gonna be pretty epic. If you like a scenic drive, you'll like this one. Kind of a hidden secret of Utah, this Scenic Highway 12. Like I said earlier, you know, I search scenic byways all the time in every state I go to. Some are hundreds of miles, some can be only 2 or 3 miles. You never know what they class as a scenic byway. But usually the views on them are just great. Wow, cattle guard up here. Here's where we're dropping. We should pretty much be looking up towards that overlook right around the next corner here. We were just way up top. There's where the overlook is. RV friendly road, just take your time. Not much out here, is there? Solid rock. Great hiking. Few more curves coming up, and we'll be down here in this valley. My ears are popping. We're dropping so quick. Well, how cool is that? All right. Gonna keep the wheels turning. See what else we can get into up here. Can you say view? Don't look over the edge. It's not that far down. A little farther up the road will be the Hogback. But this is why they call it one of the most scenic byways in the country. When you drive down through here like this, just gorgeous. It's coming back to me now. Like I said, it's been a few years since I've been through here. I believe there's a pull-out up here where they have camping. There's people parked right there. I don't know if you can camp. Ah, look at this. Isn't this cool? Power lines running through here. But this is just what Utah is all about. Talk about small towns, back roads. This is back road right here. There's more cliffs. I think that turnout should be up here pretty close. See a lot of those rental RVs. That's one in front of us. Check out this guy passing on a double yellow line. Go get him, buddy. Oh man. Unreal. He was in a hurry to get up behind that other motorhome. Here it is, I think. Here's our turn. I've driven a lot of roads. I don't recall many like this. Not too many at all, where you get this close to such unique cliffs and views and colors. Once we get up on the Hogback, we're on top of all this. Right now we're down the valley. Alright, I think this is coming up, the turn. Yep. Let me pull off, man. I gotta change batteries out too, camera. Recreation area means you can camp. Probably 14-day limit. One thing Utah, all these places have is a ton of camping. Pull up around this way. This looks good. Let me park, take a little walk. What a view, huh? Well, you have 0 cell signal here. Go figure. But Starlink works. You know, I have a dish now, the mini, mounted on top of the van. So that works good. It even works in motion. Have internet in motion. Like you really need it. But you get in a remote area where you're in trouble, at least you can message out. You know, to me, we were just at Bryce and all that, but I think this is more scenic. Probably because you can get close. There's camping down there by the river. See a few rigs. Alright, well, let me get the cameras reset. We're going to keep rolling across that big hogback. Hope you're enjoying these views. I sure am. This is one of these trips of a lifetime right here. Once in a lifetime. There's the front cam. That's what you're seeing a lot of the road footage from. I don't even remember if I said the name of this. It's Calf Creek Recreation Area. But good luck finding a spot in here. This time of year probably wouldn't be so bad in the summertime. Oh my goodness. It would be busy. Alright, let me make a left here and let's go find that hogback. We're starting to climb up out of here. Climb a pretty good clip. But if you're pulling an RV, just go slow. There's turnouts. So you can pull off, let traffic go by. What's this sign here? Slow traffic, turnout. Right up the road. Right there. I'm gonna get up a little farther. That hogback should just be about a mile up the road here. For more information on my travels, be sure to check out my website, RVerTV.tv. There you can sign up for free newsletter, putting one out once a month now. Also, we got all kinds of cool things in there. Free downloadable puzzles, articles, pictures, previous travels, future travels, a little bit about the videos. And if people send us pictures, we try to put that in there. Like you buy a coffee mug, we'll put your picture in there, call it a mug shot, that kind of thing. It's always fun when I see pictures from people, where they're at, what they do in their world. Also, we got a merch shop. Armchair Traveler Series is out. Great fun coffee mugs, all that kind of thing. And the Heck Yeah from last year. The Heck Yeah series is out. Mugs, hats, shirts. Heck yeah. Once again, it's RVerTV.tv, and I appreciate it very much. Okay, we're getting up top. View's really opening up. That is just one big long canyon off the left. We're getting close to what they call the Hogback. Basically, the road runs right on top of the ridge. It drops off of both sides. No guardrails. There should be a turnout coming up for it pretty darn quick. Temperature's picking up pretty good. It's turned out to be a beautiful day. The whole stretch from Escalante clear up to Torrey is about 70 miles. Okay, there's a turnout, but I think I want the other one up the road. This section right here, okay, we're starting into what they call the Hogback, where the road drops off to both sides. Should be a pull out right up here close. Yep, I see it coming up. Cool. Well, let's make a stop. Okay, how's that for a view? Okay. Could you live here? I could. I wouldn't want to drive this road in the heavy snows, though. But people live here, they do it all the time. There's a long ways down there. Kind of like a mini Grand Canyon in a way, isn't it? Right here on the Scenic Highway 12 in Utah.
My feet still work.
Alright, go to the other side, and guess what? More of the canyon. Drops right down. I think there's a couple more pull-outs along the way. I'll stop. But the road drops off on both sides. Canyon on both sides of the road. We're right up here on top of the middle. No guardrails. It's quiet up here. There's other people that stop, but it sure is quiet. Look at that, power lines running through here too. There's a look down the road for the Hogback. In a way it does. I mean, I guess hogbacks are curvy. I don't know. I know I like pork chops. Pork roast. They really looked at their back. But pretty unique. Well, what do you say? Keep rolling? I think so. Alright, I'm gonna look for another pullout. Right here, see how it's narrow? Both sides drop off. I think it gets skinnier. I don't remember. I think there's pull-offs up here. There was one. Try to get a better view of it. Here you go. Now you can really see the slopes of the road, both sides. It's like someone just drew a line right down in the middle of the canyon. How unique, huh? Ooh, let's stop here so I can get a little view of it. Here comes a van down through here. A couple of them, it looks like. Guy pulling an RV. You could bring big rigs through here. It's just going to be slow, and you're very limited. Bigger your rig, fewer places you can pull off. There you go, motorcycle. You can truck right along, but both sides of the road really drops off on this end, huh? Steep grade, sharp curves. Got that right. I believe there's a little town up the road called Boulder. It'll be marking a little over our halfway point since we left Escalante. Looks like we're about at the end of the Hogback here. So sit back, enjoy the ride. We'll just keep enjoying more of this Scenic Highway 12 in Utah. Well, I stopped here. This is kind of the end of the canyon, it looks like. The big deep basin part anyway. We're curving back around. So I thought it'd be just a cool little look. You can see right there, that's where the road curves. Pretty sure from once we get past Boulder, we're going to be going way up 9,000 feet over a big summit. Sure, I'm glad I came up here. Took advantage of this low heat wave in the southwest. What an epic trip. Got to see Bryce, Cathedral Gorge. So a little bit of Nevada, a little bit of southern part of Utah. You always think, the same view they had hundreds, thousands of years ago was this view, except for a paved road and a van and power lines. Still had the red dirt though. Alright, well, I'm just going to keep plowing along, and if I see something, we're going to stop. Scenic turnout, quarter mile. That didn't take long. Hey, we're on this road. Let's enjoy it, huh? Looks like we're dropping down. Oh, wow. Ooh, there's a sign for Boulder. We're in Boulder. Oh my goodness. That is just wide open to the right. I gotta get a little video of that for you. Oh, come on. Oh, right here. Pull out. Let me stop. We gotta see this. What a view. This is Boulder, Utah. I bet it gets muddy. A little bit of rain on this stuff. Here's the view. Wow. Now that's cool. Hear that old rooster crowing? Go out, collect the eggs, milk the cows. Wow, what a place to live. Boulder, Utah. Gorgeous. Yeah, I had to stop and check this. It's like mobile homes down there, little farms. Nice and green here. Alright, everyone in the van, we're out of here. Let's go. Looks like a road maintenance yard there. We're still southern Utah. I don't know snowfall. They got to get it here. I don't know how deep. I'm sure they catch storms, but it probably melts off pretty quick too. There's a gas station right up on that little hill there. See a red barn. Heck yeah. Yeah, this is like going back in time, isn't it? Camping in here. There's a cafe. Yep, all kinds of camping. So you can definitely stay right here in Boulder. Alright, from here we're going to go up over the mountain. Not sure, if I remember right, there was a lookout point. That was kind of cool going over the pass. Heck, we might even see some snow still on the ground. It is Utah. We are heading north. Old farmhouses and all kinds of stuff out here. And I believe this is a state park right here, but it's not even open yet. RV park there. Yep, state park. Closed signs on the gate. Okay, same plan. I'll just keep rolling. When I see something cool, we're gonna stop. We are definitely climbing up, heading up this mountain pass. Got a few trees going too. Okay, look at that. Looks like those trees are dead. I don't think they are. It's just the kind of tree they are. Here's a pole out. I gotta change camera batteries too. Ooh, big old view. Yeah, I just don't think those trees have budded out yet. Well, there's looking back towards the Hogback, Escalante. Quite a few miles back through there. Very, very unique drive going through. They even have cameras here. This must be close to the summit. They got cameras up on top of this pole. Get out of the sun, see them? Wave, you're on camera. You're on Utah Highway Department. Okay, well, let me get reset. Go over the top, we'll work our way down. There is snow. I read about that stuff. It's cold to the touch. I grew up in that stuff. So still got snow on the ground. We gotta be getting up close to the top of this thing here. Ooh, ooh, Scenic Overlook. We gotta stop. We're still not up top. I thought maybe where those cameras were, that would be getting near the top, but no. Well, this is a huge parking lot. Got restrooms here. Well, let's check this view too. As far as you can see, that is just a long, long ways. The skies have been real generous today, being so clear. Paving Boulder Mountain. So I guess this is Boulder Mountain, year-round access. Last link in Highway 12 pavement. Shows a guy fishing, stream fishing, flowers, and the view. Across a vast horizon. Oh, okay, so it's giving you the landscape, the mountains, names of them anyway. The heart of the Escalante. I think we just drove over a few of them. Way out there, huh? What a fun morning. Well, got restrooms, big parking lot. No leaves on the trees yet. And we're still going uphill. I'd say they had fire in here a few years ago. A lot of fallen logs. Some of them look pretty burnt. Alright, it's just the top. Trees are getting smaller. I see the sign right there. What's it say? Slow down a little. Summit, 9,180 feet. Wow. No wonder we got snow. We're still going up. Yay, made it to the top. Now it's downhill from here. We're not too much farther getting into Torrey. Probably got 20 miles. Looks like on the phone we have one more overlook we can stop at. Looks pretty good. Look at those pines right in the middle of all that brown. Alright, I'm just gonna keep the cameras rolling. Because when else am I gonna get back here along this beautiful Scenic Highway 12? I think I said it earlier, I'm so glad I came up here. It's kind of out of the way. You're kind of in the southern middle part of Utah to get up in this neck of the woods. But it is so worth it. If you ever get a chance, make this drive. Larb Hollow Overlook. Sea of pines out there. Straight out, that'd be Capitol Reef. We're getting closer to Capitol Reef. Once we got over the summit, 9,100 feet was the summit. Isn't that something? Fire on the mountain, yeah. It's always the dreaded part, forest fires, but it's Mother Nature. They have them, it cleans them up, and everything regrows. Okay, well, let's keep trucking down. A lot greener on this side of the pass, though, isn't it? More pines, I guess. Just different trees. All right, I think we're getting close to the bottom of Boulder Mountain Pass here. Yeah, it's really starting to flatten out. So straight on out, those mountain cliffs. That would be the start of Capitol Reef National Park. I'll be coming up in the next video. Oh, good, a pull out. I need to take a break. There's a lot of driving this morning. Let me pull in here. Oh, we even got a little shade. Heck yeah. Oh, I see a little creek or stream, something here. All that good snow melt pouring off the mountain. We need it this year. You know, snowpack was way down. Way down this year. Van does pretty good pulling the mountains. Can't complain. So I think I'll make me something to eat here, check the maps, then head on into Torrey. I'm going to have to fuel up too. We burnt some fuel coming up over the pass, pulling those grades. That little area here. Probably do a little stream fishing. What a epic trip this morning across this beautiful Highway 12 in Utah. And there's still more to go. Heck yeah. Gonna get in here to Torrey, gonna hunker down. Next video, Capitol Reef National Park. Then I'll be dropping south, back home, Arizona, Route 66, 100-year centennial. All that's coming up soon on RVerTV. Journey continues. Heck, it never ends. Talk soon.